Hello there. How many of you are doing self-care? For some people, they don't even know what that is, and it's really hard for them. They let the day just kind of take them wherever it will, and then they're wondering why they're beating themselves up and don't have any energy and don't feel good about themselves. So, what if self-care is filling your cup so that you have more to give? What if it's making yourself a priority on the schedule? What if that means setting some boundaries and saying no here and yes here? But for sure, what if it's making time for yourself to do something that you enjoy? I'm Wendolyn Davis. I am a certified life coach who empowers others to believe in themselves and build that unshakable confidence in relationship with themselves and others. So there's so many good things when we take time for ourselves, but we're not doing that. So I want you to look at my strawberry garden here, and we're going to relate that to us. And this garden, one day I came out and I'm like, what the heck is happening? It's like a lot of the plants, they're starting to die. And I've got like this patch back here, like it used to be fuller, but a lot of them, they've just died off. So I'm like, oh, what's happening? It was getting hotter. So we got the shade on and I Googled nutrients that they need and I provided that for them because strawberries are new for me. So we're figuring the strawberries out. And that's like ourselves, right? It's an experiment for each of us. We're figuring out what works for us, for what doesn't work for us. And then I noticed in this strawberry garden, there's a beautiful patch of flowers right here. I want you to relate that to yourself. There's a lot of good things to choose from, but sometimes there's information overload. Sometimes there's too much information, and we crowd out taking care of ourselves because other things have entered our schedule that seem important, but what if they're not? Because what if taking care of yourself is more important than doing a bunch of other good things? So what does self-care look like? I make sure I get enough sleep. Sleep is foundational for all of us. If we don't get enough sleep, we're not thinking good, we're going to eat more, we're cranky, we're angry. All those emotions can arise much easier than if we had enough sleep. Plus, it's when your body recovers. It's that REM sleep and deep sleep that are feeding your cells and rejuvenating you and getting you ready for the next day. So I've learned I've got to be in bed at least 8.5 hours. So sometimes I only get 7 hours of sleep. My Oura ring tells me that. Tells me how much deep sleep I get and REM sleep, how much time I'm awake, how much light sleep I get, which has really helped me realize to get my butt to bed earlier. And also to do the meditation and the slow down before bed. So you establishing a bedtime routine is huge for self-care. Are you giving your body the nutrients that it needs? These guys are definitely looking a lot better than they were 3 weeks ago because I gave them the nutrients that they need. And then I'm figuring it out, right? Where to go from here, what I need to do next. And some part of the strawberries, the clovers were starting to invade. So I got to make sure, right? Clovers are harder to pull because they're little, but they spread and they're all over the place. So I needed to invest a little bit of time to make sure to get the clovers out because they were spreading all over and they were maybe wreaking havoc on the strawberries. It's a work in process in figuring out what to do. And I'll continue to learn and nurture them so that I can reap the benefits of awesome strawberries, which I had a great harvest this year. So what are you doing for yourself? Make sure you're getting enough sleep and look at your schedule. Do you have too many things planned on there? Do you have time for yourself? Exercise is also part of my self-care because I love how I feel after I do it. Sometimes doing it, but after, no, I totally love it. And I am determined to start playing that piano more, to slow down with I have way too many busy things definitely on my schedule, which are good, but there's other things I want to do that nurture the creativity part of me. And so where are you on your journey? What can you do for your self-care? First, make sure you schedule it and make sure you're feeding your mind with those beautiful, powerful thoughts that you are good enough. Love yourself through your journey. Never compare yourself to somebody else's garden. We got different stuff going on over here next door. The strawberry garden needs different nutrients, different requirements than whatever is going on over here. So never compare yourselves to other people on your journey or even what their self-care is. You figure out what works for you. And don't say, I don't know, because that's a dead end right there. When you ask a question, you get an answer. So you could start saying, how can I find time for my self-care? And how can I find what I like to do? How can I find what I enjoy? What do I enjoy doing? Ask yourself questions if you aren't sure what that looks like, and you'll find an answer. And then experiment. Just try. Try different things. See what fills your cup and gives you that peace and joy and happiness. Sometimes just being still is good, and definitely that deep breathing. But TV and scrolling, doesn't count for self-care, my friends. Sorry. So it sometimes drains us. You can put it on your schedule, but if I were you, I would not count it as self-care. So just wanted to share some tips for self-care. And please make sure you are taking care of yourself, because if not, it's taking years off of your life. Today is the day we start taking care of ourselves, because you, my friends, matter. And you can make a difference in your life and the lives of others one step at a time as you learn to do that self-care. It's the best feeling ever to conquer our challenges and our obstacles and things that are in our path. To nurture ourselves, especially with positive thoughts. Because why keep beating ourselves up when the option is to love ourselves? So if you're ready to start loving yourself and start establishing that self-care routine and start turning down the volume on that negative chatter, you sign up for that free consult, and I'll show you what's possible for you. You are worth it to have a coach to cheer you on. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.